All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of P.T.W Podcast Edition. I'm joined by, well, the only person that joins me recently, Coolshirt 101.
Yeah,
And we've
the
got,
one and only.
yeah, there you go. We've got a couple things that we want to talk about today. As you can see over here on the right side of the screen here, as well as little Artoria about to get her fresh off the line SIG P320. She's gonna chuck that thing, dude.
Hopefully she doesn't drop it.
That's the whole thing, man.
Preemptively, at least.
Ah, dude, the whole point of those things is you gotta chuck them in there like grenades. That's one thing. The U.S. military stopped the contract because they don't want them as their sidearm anymore, but they're still gonna actually use them as like chuckable weapons.
Pretty peak, honestly. I mean, it's a good little distraction grenade. It's like you're feeding the enemy a firearm, even though it just kills them as it drops next to them.
Yeah. If you could find a way to combine that with those illegal Glock switches.
Oh my god. Where it just starts like mag dumping right as it hits the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
like,
lord. That'd be terrible.
That would be absolutely horrid. Thank God that, Glocks are actually manufactured correctly.
Yep.
Okay. So
Reliable handgun.
Very, very reliable. Very reliable. I own one.
Yeah, and I can get my glue from the same place.
Yeah, you not only can you get glue, you can get a lot more.
Oh, I can get a very special kind of glue.
It's funny enough, it's the number one supporter of Uma Musume, Glock.
You know it, man.
No, but at this point in time, I've learned two things. Number one, people on the internet will say anything for free shit. And Randy Pitchford might be the epitome of everything wrong with AAA gaming. And for those of you who are like me and live under a rock, Randy Pitchford is the CEO of Gearbox. They're mainly known for such great games as Alien Colonial Marines and the Halo CE remake, as well as Borderlands 3. And you're probably thinking, oh, what about their good games like Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 1? Those were made over a decade ago. Granted, Aliens Colonial...
Its current team that works on them now is not anywhere near the same team that worked on them back then.
Yeah.
So it's not even the same development studios. Same thing with Halo and Destiny and all these other studios. None of the same people that started working on them are still there.
Yeah. So you have Gearbox, who create the best game to play when you're tired of playing any other looter shooter that actually has better multiplayer. You play Borderlands, or at least you used to, before Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Borderlands 4 is recently released, and from what I've heard, if you can get the game to run, it's a pretty good game. But
good point.
That's the big thing here, is getting the game to run. And there are multiple reports all across the internet. It is not hard. There are two things that you can find under every stone here in the world. Number one, probably some form of a fentanyl needle. And two, somebody complaining
methamphetamine.
I was going to probably that. And two, somebody complaining that their high-end PC can't run Borderlands 4.
Or most modern games.
Yeah. And
with Unreal Engine 5 specifically.
Yeah, specifically with Unreal Engine 5. And shout out to the YouTuber Fleek, who has now created my new favorite way to measure any purchase I will make.
Yeah. Let's get the right name on there. I don't want to get
let's put some
respect on that name.
Yeah.
Respect on that name.
He'll be linked in the comments,
awesome.
or he'll be linked in the description down below. You all really should go and check him out.
Check out his channel 100%.
But
peak content.
It is incredibly peak. But the new way that I will be measuring every single purchase is how many Silk songs is this worth? So for $70, which is, mind you, Silk Song full price is $20. All right. you can purchase 3.5 Silk Songs. And let me
Yep.
tell you, not only does it work, but you would get probably just as much enjoyment out of Silk Song, if not more, as well as the fact that Silk Song has, I wouldn't say replayability. It definitely feels like one of the things that you play once and then you pick up later on, or you go
Nah,
from.
I'll sit here and say it has replayability. If it's a good game, it's got replayability. Doesn't matter what type of game it is.
I mean, you could argue that any game has replayability. Is you just probably won't pick it
Halo
up on
5 does not have replayability. I have nightmares.
Halo 5 is the one thing that killed is the time where you truly see the split in modern Halo. That's a topic for another day. No, but either way, so you have the choice of purchasing one Silk Song or spending 3.5 Silk Songs for a game that does not work. And here's the thing. Before we even knew anything about Borderlands 4, Nintendo made a direct, not the most recent one. We'll talk about that later. But the Switch 2 Direct, where they came out and they basically bumped the price of games up from the 70 that they are now to 80. Look, we can have a discussion about $70 games being way more than what they're worth. You can have a discussion about 60 being worth too much for certain games. But the thing is, you had that off the heels of rumors being floated around to that GTA 6 was going to be $100. And you already know that that's just marketing and executives seeing if they could get away with it. That's why they leaked that number so early. It's not even a conspiracy theory.
I mean, you can go look at the quote from the Rockstar CEO. He says that he wishes he could charge gamers per hour of gameplay.
Yeah. So this is where we see, around this time, where we see Randy Pitchford make his first tweet, which is we have right here. And this is in defense to how much they wanted to charge for the game. They had not disclosed the price. And it says, A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight and Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach?
Pismo Beach.
Yeah, Pismo Beach. I've never heard of this place. And I found a way to make it happen. Okay, look. Let me just say one thing here about this. That really, actually, let's keep this tweet up for a little bit. The one thing about this is the fact that, yeah, if you really, really wanted a game, you can make it happen. And there's so many examples of people finding ways to save up money for these little indulgences. I mean, hell, there's entire movies made, about down on their luck families scrounging up money to get their kids things, or even save up for themselves. But this isn't about that. This is about a industry that wants to nickel and dime its player base, an industry that built goodwill up over a decade ago, and to be honest, is really clutching its pearls on two things. Number one, an aging player base that longs for the days when they were younger and when games were a lot simpler and games were fun. And a younger demographic that will pick your game up, try it, complain that it's not something that they've already played, drop it and go back to that old thing. Yeah. And for the record, I have played and beaten every single piece of content in Borderlands 2. I have played, but I did not beat Borderlands 3. The game was just not appealing to me story-wise, as well as, I'm just going to say this, and this has no reflection to the current state of the game. Destiny was at that point a better looter shooter than Borderlands 3. I'd argue that Destiny in its heyday was the best looter shooter of all time because, and it still does have this one thing, and that is a very unique like gameplay style where you can go acquire your items from PvE or PvP. And then you have options. You can go back into PvE or you can play PvP. And look, if you like the PvP, if you like the PvE, that's besides the point. It's a very unique game, and that's what made Destiny so great. Where it is now, not great. Don't touch it. Don't even go near it. They make Randy Pitchford look like, I don't know, the greatest man known to mankind.
The second coming of Christ.
No. He's got a point, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Bungie is creatively bankrupt. They have like nothing to offer as far as like Marathon or Destiny. And as somebody who's been playing Destiny for played Destiny consistently for about 10 years and Halo for a long time before that, definitely not worth even going back to what Bungie is now.
Yeah. What about you, Coolshirt? What's your opinion on Borderlands as a series? I don't think you and I have ever played it together.
We've played it once together. We played the pre-sequel, but we only got like halfway through the campaign.
I always forget about that game.
We did that playthrough with me, you, and Butter a while back. It's been years now, but we never played the second game together or the first one. I'm not a big fan of the pre-sequel. I didn't think it was like the best game ever, but it was also not as bad as my opinions on Borderlands 3. I've played Borderlands 3, haven't beat it, but the only good thing about Borderlands 3 I thought was the gameplay. I thought the gameplay was fun, but the overall like narrative, characters, even the art direction I wasn't a huge fan of. That's just my opinion on that. My favorite game is Borderlands 2, that as a lot of people who've played the series probably would agree. It's probably the pinnacle of the series and probably will be until the series finally, crumbles out and dies. But I mean, in my opinion, it's been dead for a while, but that's just my opinion. But I haven't tried Borderlands 4. It doesn't really look that interesting to me. The way I felt about Borderlands 4 whenever I saw the trailers for it is it just looked like a Destiny clone instead of a Borderlands game, which I felt was weird because it lost a lot of its creativity and art direction that I felt was integral to the series. And whenever I was watching gameplay, trailer, and promotional material for it, when I saw it, if you like asked me like 5-10 years ago if that was Borderlands, I would have been like, no, that's a completely different franchise. Yeah. Just based on video alone. Sure, it still has some of its identity, but like, I feel like it's losing a little bit of its character design and just design in general.
Yeah. No, I mean, to me, it looks it looks like Borderlands. I actually haven't really seen much other than actual gameplay. Now I've watched a couple streamers play the game. That is, of course, how everyone sees games now and makes their decision. That's a different topic for a different day. But the game itself, the big issue I have is Borderlands 2 probably has some of my favorite Easter eggs. Next to, I think, this little indie game called Enter the Gungeon. That game's also getting up here in age. I think that's over. If not over, then it is coming on its 10-year anniversary here pretty soon. Yeah. But one of my favorite things from Borderlands 2 is the Minecraft Easter egg. Do you remember that one?
Which one?
The Minecraft Easter egg in Borderlands 2.
I remember that. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
There were a lot of Minecraft Easter eggs during that era, because there was even one in Skyrim actually.
Yeah. There's one in like every single game. Even Enter the Gungeon has a Minecraft Easter egg. I mean, yeah, there's still Minecraft Easter eggs to this day, but like that is one of the things that is ingrained in my mind. Like, one, because I remember how I found out about it, and like I instantly was like, oh, I gotta run and I gotta get this thing. It was a sniper rifle that shot a arrow like in Minecraft, and it was a block shooting shotgun that shot like little cubes, like 9 little cubes all at once. and from there you killed creepers, a big one spawned, then you killed that after you basically mined your way in there. And then you also had Minecraft heads for all of the playable Vault Hunters.
Yeah.
And I think there was also skins as well, like character, because there were like color palette changes that you could unlock as well. But the main reason why I don't really hold Borderlands in such a high regard is I love the looter shooter genre ever since dropping Destiny 2. I've tried Warframe. I at one point tried Borderlands. And the games vary in terms of my enjoyment. Like I really like Borderlands, but I'm not that big a fan of Warframe, for example. But the end game is where the itch just really cannot be scratched and cannot be matched. And for me, that's why I'm hesitant to pick up Borderlands 4. On top of the fact that, granted, this one I could not find, but to sum up this next tweet, which if I do find it, will be right here. The long story short basically tells people that this is a modern AAA game, okay, a premium product, in his words, and that the game is designed to run on a modern hardware. And he describes the Xbox Series S and the PlayStation 5 and compares that to the fact that most PC gamers don't have modern tech up to that standard. So why would you expect that this premium product to run on something like this when the game isn't even designed to run on past gen consoles? You wouldn't want this to run on the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360. I think he said PS4 and Xbox One, but either way.
I don't think he said that because, I mean, Borderlands 3 doesn't even barely run on the Xbox One.
Yeah. Well, supposedly what I've heard is that PC is not the worst place to play Borderlands 4. Because some PCs...
I've heard that Xbox Series X is the worst place to play Borderlands 4 right now.
I actually heard it was PlayStation, funny enough.
Okay, so it's just bad everywhere, apparently.
Yeah.
Because I've also been hearing it's terrible on PC as well.
Yeah. Now, listen, you and I both know that the slogan, "the customer is always right," is arguably one of the worst slogans ever known to mankind. And it is used more often than not to excuse shitty behavior on the customer's part. Now, mind you, anyone sending death threats or anyone like DMing Randy Pitchford and threatening him because they're the game that he didn't make himself, like by himself. This was a team of people that made this. He just led. He's the quarterback to this team, basically, but a lot less useful. In that sense,
it's better analogies the coach instead of the quarterback.
Yeah, actually, that's yeah. He's
not the project manager. He's not anything like that. He's just the CEO.
Yeah, and but the thing is when he opens his mouth, he speaks for everyone because of how known he is. And
yeah, absolutely.
Look, I'm not that big of a fan of modern game developers. We can have an entire discussion about that. Here is not the time. But what I will say is everything that is wrong with modern AAA devs can be seen in these tweets by Randy Pitchford. Here is another tweet right here that he basically goes and explains what is like how he plays the game and what he has it, and basically tries to say that if your specs can't handle this, lower your specs or lower your settings. In other words, when it rains, it's wet outside. But there was also another tweet, once again, that we do not have here. If I find it, I will put it up. Where he basically says that if your PC's old, go and upgrade your PC at this point. Also, what else do we have in here? Jesus Christ, cool shit is that fucking, that's Carlotta, right? This one down here.
Which one at the very bottom?
Yeah, no, not the one right underneath Artoria.
Oh yeah, that's Carlotta. Yeah, Carlotta from Wuthering Waves.
Artoria when she moves out of California to Texas or something.
Yeah, another thing to bring up about this game, specifically on the PC side, as to like where a lot of people are having a lot of frustrations, is just looking at the recommended statistics or like specs for the game itself. For like requiring like like only a few years ago, like top of the line hardware, like with like a RTX 3080 and an RX 6800 XT, which are not very cheap, like graphics cards or parts for a computer. So like at minimum, what they're asking the player to have is like a $2,000 computer, pretty much.
We can
just based on the specs alone.
We can actually pull this up right here. I can here we go. Okay, so here, as you can see, I've pulled this up on Steam. The minimum requirements. You're operating.
I was looking at the recommended. Because like minimum is like playing on poor man's level of performance because you're playing it on like 480p on like a shitty monitor, along with 30 frames per second.
All right.
It's not playable at the minimum rate. That's just the lowest that they're able to get it to.
Yeah.
It might not even launch at that rate. I'm not even gonna lie, but that's just the way that these games are made.
Yeah. So if we're just gonna read recommended here, Windows 10 and 11 are for your operating system. And funny enough, I was actually combing through Randy Pitchford's Twitter, and I actually found that apparently you have to go in and mess with settings if you're still on Windows 10, because apparently the game is not made to run on Windows 10. Then why, if that's the case, why the fucking hell are you advertising it here?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll get into my biggest issue with video gaming over this past decade being false advertisement, and it stems back from Halo 5. But continuing here, your processor is recommended a Ryzen 7 5800X or an Intel Core 17 1200 12700, 32 gigs of RAM. That's more than enough RAM for your standard stuff.
That's still a lot, though, to be fair, for like your average consumer. In the RTX 3080 and 6800 XT, the cheapest option there is going to be your Intel Arc B580. But still, like between all three of those cards, that's still not a very budget end or even like a mid-tier gaming computer. That's going to be on the higher end even from a few years ago.
Yeah. You also need to take into account around the time that I hate that I have to say this. You also have to take into account around the time that you want to build, if you plan on building or upgrading your PC.
Yeah. And the prices change so periodically that even like the crappier cards, like your RTX 3060s and 70s, are going to go for like almost $1,000 in certain areas, just depending on like the scarcity of the cards for like Bitcoin mining and things of that nature. That will drive the price up for old hardware that isn't actually the standardized product you would want for a gaming computer, making it harder for anybody to get like your 50 series cards. Like, and I will say, yeah, the 30 series cards are older, but they still should be able to run like most modern games just because of their technology.
Yeah.
Because the 40 series and 50 series hasn't really progressed that far from those cards in a like technological standpoint to really justify games not being able to run on them. I personally am running that RX 6800 XT card that's listed there, and that is not a very cheap card because I paid around like $700 for it.
Yeah. I have a RTX 4060, I'm pretty sure, in my PC at the moment, that I only have because my 3080 actually crapped out on me. But that was a used 3080 that I bought and had been running perfectly fine, you know.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I actually sent it to an acquaintance of a friend of mine, and he ended up fixing it. It just needed, apparently, it just needed to have the some of the things, the thermal paste changed on some of it, and it runs perfectly fine now. It's just sitting there. I don't even use it. But either way, to round this out, storage 100 gigabytes of available space. That's pretty standard nowadays for your modern game. It's less about actually trying to compress the files and trying to make sure that your standard your standard person only has one or two games on their uh
Console or device.
yeah, console or device of choice at a time, because to me this feels like you're not confident as a developer enough in your game to where you would allow for people to have multiple games and compete for time. Because as we see nowadays in a world where gaming companies have so many microtransactions, as well as like whaling and minnowing being terms that these companies use, voting with your wallet as a consumer is no longer good enough, because there will always be somebody who basically spends enough money to count for 10 people. And
Or
instead,
30 people,
yeah, depending on the game.
depending on what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Counter-Strike.
yeah, and they now know that, all right, voting voting with your wallet, that's a trash term. And the sad thing is you still see it floated around online. Voting with your wallet isn't enough anymore.
It still has power, though. I feel like, I mean, just not buying those ecosystems and getting involved in those, even if they're free to play, is a way to just protest these types of practices and things like that. Because ultimately, the way that they hook, line, and sinker you into these models is by getting you to play these games, like your free to play, like your war zones and your like Fortnite stuff. Not specifically trying to go after specific things. Not a big fan of those business models, but like they get you into the ecosystem. They have the microtransactions and everything. It's the same thing with Destiny. Destiny does the exact same practice, arguably worse, but to where basically once you're there, there's that store page. It's always being shoved in your face. And in order to get a lot of the items that you need in order to play the game, you have to go through that store page, and it's actively advertising to you on a regular basis.
Yeah. Well,
to basically try to get you to spend money.
Yes. The way I was going to say it is the best way you can actually combat things like this, as well as combat this absolutely horrible what how to describe it, just attitude that Randy Pitchford has and a lot of these other devs have, is vote with your time. Don't engage with said item. And to the people that say, oh, that doesn't work, no, it has worked. Okay? Look at what happened with Concord.
Yep.
Look at what happened with Concord. I can
look at what happened to Dragon Age Veilguard.
Dragon Age Veilguard. A lot of these other games that come out and are not, they're games second and either propaganda pieces first or slot machines first, that I'm not even going to grace with the privilege of being mentioned on this podcast. I understand that only like 6 fish watch this, but they don't even deserve that kind of publicity.
And we don't even need to bring up Assassin's Creed Shadows.
You just did.
Yeah, I know. About how bad that shit was. Anyways.
But yeah. And the main issue that I have is the fact that he called it a premium product. I feel like this started with Nintendo, and I don't mean like modern Nintendo. I mean like peak Nintendo, as I would think of it back in like 2000, in the mid 2010s, and even before. They've always viewed their games as quote unquote experiences or premium experiences. And there's
like every game company says that, though. It's not even just Nintendo.
Nowadays they do now, but it wasn't as prevalent back then.
I remember Xbox marketing and PlayStation marketing having those like terminologies in them.
Well, yeah, at the turn, when at the turn of the console generation, when they started trying to push right when streaming was coming out, that when they started selling their consoles instead of gaming devices, they were home entertainment experiences.
Well, that was what Xbox did. PlayStation just kind of monopolized the market by actually going for the gaming angle at the time. That's why they kind of won that specific era.
Yeah, but nowadays they're too busy.
I can't even argue about that. I mean, it's just the truth.
Nowadays they're too busy trying to sell you a console
What is it?
Console with no disc drives.
Console with no disc drive. You got what's Last of Us Part 2 remastered a third time. And then repackaged with the first game remastered again.
Yeah.
Just like 5-year-old games repackaged every 5 years, pretty much.
Well, they have to package it with the first game because no one's gonna buy it. No one's gonna buy it, without it. It's like Indiana Jones collections now. Because I was walking around my least favorite fucking place in the world, Walmart, the other day, and
you don't hate it nearly as much as I do.
I walk every single time I go to Walmart, which is very, very few, like and far between nowadays. I always make sure to walk by and walk through the electronic section because they have no, hear me out. This is why.
As somebody who worked in the electronics department, that was a mistake.
No. The main reason I do this is because I vehemently despise the Nintendo Switch 2. I hate everything.
Just like to check to see if how many are there.
No, I walk by it because I love Nintendo. I love some of their IPs. I'm a big Zelda fan. I'm a big 2D Metroid fan. I'm a big Animal Crossing guy. I'm a big Pokemon guy. But every time I walk by,
hey, don't forget about your dead named child. Don't forget about Fire Emblem. Yeah, he's the biggest Fire Emblem simp there is. His favorite game is Three Houses.
Don't you ever don't you ever lump me in. You know, it's funny because Coolshirt and I we talk a lot of politics off podcast because both of us we kind of have similar views, but we also have enough different on it, and we can actually have discussions and not hate each other by the end of it.
Yeah.
And
well, like civilized people.
Yeah.
From an uncivilized society that we live in now, we're able to have civilized conversations and actually come to somewhat of a agree to disagree on certain issues.
We're not going to go out and I don't know if I can say that actually. People,
I wouldn't go that far. I know where you're going with that.
Yeah,
I think I would just stop it right there.
Yeah, people are getting deplatformed. I don't think I can make this joke yet.
Well, we'll make this joke 3 or 4 months from now. Just not now.
Yeah,
because the water's still pretty hot right now.
Yeah, but either way, the same kinds of people that you hate, like, well, I hate them too. But like
we hate them for different reasons though.
Yeah. Like for you it's like they ruined a lot of things you love, but for me it's like whenever I see modern Nintendo stuff and specifically Fire Emblem 3 Houses, I've seen nothing but those kinds of people bang and support that game and having like a vocal outcry. I've never seen any of them play it though, like at all, but I have seen them draw horrid fan art, shipping all kinds of characters, and that's really all they're good for.
Well, you see, these people stem from this community I like to call the Gen Z retards. I don't know if we're allowed to say that on the internet anymore, but you know what? I don't really care. I'm going to say retard. I don't care. They're retarded. They're absolutely stupid, and all of them they do is they sit on the internet and they write fan fictions about either two male characters, whether they're underage or whatever. It doesn't matter what group of like anime game. I'm not going to specifically call it a fan club.
My Hero Academia,
Demon Slayer,
that one too.
Jujutsu Kaisen,
that one 3.
Anyways, and then there are many more.
Family.
Baki. Oh wait, no, that one's too based. Anyways, But yeah, pretty much you got like these, young impressionable kids that basically go online. They get involved in these communities where they just either support a specific shipping of like either two specific characters. My favorite one to meme on is Deku and All Might from My Hero Academia. That's my favorite ship to just like joke around about because it's fucking disgusting.
I mean,
it's just a troll. I don't actually like give a shit about the shipping culture or anything. I don't even care about which characters end up with who at the end of the story. Ultimately, when I'm reading a manga or watching an anime or whatnot, I'm mostly just there for the actual story itself.
Unless it's a romance story, then you kind of have to.
Okay, well, when you're actually invested in the romance part, that's a different story, man. I mean, Rent a Girlfriend, that shit was garbage. But Domestic Girlfriend, holy shit, man, that was peak right there. Oh, yeah.
Well,
all my brothers in the chat that have watched that or read the manga know what I'm talking about.
This is a podcast specifically filmed for your pet fish's enjoyment. I don't know what people's pet fish.
Someone out there who's watched Domestic Girlfriend can agree with me on the fact that shit's peak.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually
peak trash.
There you go. I'm actually out of liquid death water. I've got another one right here. So here we go, girls, and fish
crack open a cold one
of all ages.
All right.
I don't know if y'all
you literally didn't pick it up on the mic at all.
Well,
you literally not even a single sound. All right,
that
boys
sucks. But
yeah.
Either way, getting back on track a little bit. Nah, dude, listen, like that most recent Nintendo Direct was ass. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
But no, getting back to the Walmart thing, I walked by. I haven't forgotten. I walked by the section right by the Nintendo Switches, and just so that I can say that I had the opportunity to buy a Switch 2, but I didn't.
That's like Mutahar going to the Switch aisle and saying, I had the opportunity to do it after the day after he said he'd never going to buy it, and then coming back and playing it and doing a review.
Yeah, but the thing is...
just avoid the section if you don't want to support it, my guy. Like, come on. Like, just...
Well, I have to walk through there anyway to go and get to the areas that
get to the what? To get to the like pop figures on the other side of the aisle?
God no! I have to get over there to find the.
Hey, as one of the guys who used to organize those aisles, I know what's on the other side.
You're right. So I have to go and get the thing that I'm going to actually get you for your birthday, and that is all the Walmart Bleach figures.
Oh boy, yeah, keep those over there and burn them in hell. All right.
No, but. No, I have this horrid problem whenever I go like to a grocery store or Walmart, and that is I always end up parking on the complete opposite end of the store to where like what I generally need. And the only thing I go to for
what do you do? Park a grocery aisle and you go look for like furniture decorations?
No, like I end up parking like on the garden section side because there's never like you can always just walk in through there. And I have to walk all the way through the store to get to the like grocery aisle because there's this one Walmart on the other side of town that is the only one that sells the coffee that I like.
I think that's just a skill issue with your parking skills. I'm gonna be honest. Like, who the hell parks at Garden Center unless they're there for garden equipment?
I mean, I actually do get like that's where I buy a lot of soil and stuff. But either way,
yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're there for that, but like if you're there for groceries, go park on the grocery side.
No, I'm not gonna park like
there's like 4 different entrances to Walmart. There's the pharmacy entrance, the grocery entrance. There's the automotive entrance, and then there's also the garden entrance. Well, there's 4 different ones.
Okay, number 1, I'd never use the automotive entrance. That's
nobody does unless they've got a gun to their head.
Yeah.
unless you're having a hostage situation going down over there, ain't nobody walking in through that door.
Like
you might actually get an STD just from touching the handle.
Yeah. Oh no! Like there is not a single. Let me tell you this. Here in Texas, I have not been to a Walmart in the past decade that has not had open like the doors that auto open, and they know they do that. Because
Automotive's one does not have the auto door.
No,
I guarantee you for a fact it is a handle.
Ours do. Because
okay, wow, you must have a bigger automotive department.
Well, no, they have to have that because you know the slogan: everything's bigger in Texas, including the Walmart shoppers.
Well, you know that's. Oh, you're right. Yeah, the single wide door isn't big enough for
No,
the average Texan. That makes
no,
sense.
yeah,
It goes
but
for the Alabamese as well. Everyone from Alabama is pretty fat as well. The obesity problem's a little bit worse there than it is in Texas, but not too far off.
yeah.
It ain't much better here in Tennessee.
Though speaking of this and horrid price or like decisions, to get into our next topic here, Coolshirt, you and I, well, I'm less now, but you and I are big fans of, you know, making adult money and spending it on child products, are we not?
I don't like the terminology there.
I'm talking about
I really
Legos.
don't like that. I really don't like that terminology, my guy. I really hate that. That's disgusting.
What? Okay, hold on. What do you mean?
That's like me getting my adult money and buying like My Little Pony toys. Like that's the level of like level where that goes in
calling
my
out
brain.
our friend. Stop calling
Hey,
out
you know
Dark
what?
Ghost.
Hey, you know he likes his weird shit, you know, and you know that some people like their Feastable bars, and other people like Legos.
Nobody likes Feastables.
That was the joke. That was the joke. Anyways,
I saw them in the clearance aisle the other day. Nobody likes Feastables.
I saw like a commercial the other day for like what was it, like Beef Franks is doing some sort of collaboration with Feastables or some crap. Sounds disgusting.
Feastables in general sounds fucking
like beef
violent.
jerky and Feastables is like the worst combo I've ever heard.
Why the hell a individual who has employed multiple child predators is allowed to sell products mainly aimed at children is beyond me.
Well, you know, he gets paid a lot of money, and he pays a lot of people a lot of money to make sure he gets to abuse children on a regular basis.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. But
you heard it here first.
Allegedly.
Mr. Beast is a faggot. Anyways.
Allegedly.
No, that was not it. I'll allege that one. Yep.
There you go.
Take me to court, bitch.
No, so for those who aren't in the loop, Lego has recently, Lego for the good part of 2 decades at this point has had the exclusive license to make buildable Star Wars sets. And let me tell you, Lego Star Wars in specific is probably one of my favorite things on this planet. Back in the day, growing up, you had Clone Wars coming out, and some of those old Clone Wars sets.
Nah, fuck that. We had Episode 3 coming out, my guy. Fuck that. Nah, dude. We had peak on the fucking big screen. I remember the fucking advertisements with Yoda hopping around the fucking screen, CGI and all. That shit was peak, bro. I remember the old like 2000 like fucking 5 like through like 2007 Lego line of like Episode 3 toys. That shit was peak.
You're right, because who doesn't want to recreate Mustafar?
Yeah, exactly. Or the Kashyyyk battle too.
No, that's an actual set, by the way. Like the Mustafar battle. You got little like Lego sticks.
It was interactive too. You could like launch Anakin. You could launch Anakin into the air and do like a little flip with him.
Yeah.
Then watch him get cut in half.
Oh no.
Oh. They literally turned that entire scene into a Lego set.
Funny
enough,
which
is pretty cool.
Lego is actually the most accurate way that you can actually recreate that scene, because it's the easiest way to pop Anakin's legs and arm.
Yeah, right off his torso. Yeah, you're not wrong. Another part of that was pretty sick was the blow up lightsabers as well from those Legos back in the day.
Yeah. Actually,
those were pretty cool.
Funny enough, I'm pretty sure they actually made an Anakin minifigure, like where right after he was pulled from the lava. I'm like 99% sure that's an actual thing.
Probably. I mean, there's like that's in like the Lego games and everything as well, so it wouldn't surprise me for a bit. But yeah, no, I mean, but go ahead and continue your point with the Legos. I just wanted to interrupt you with the 2005 peak though.
Keep going. I found it. Coolshirt.
Oh no.
I found it. Hold on. Okay, so there's actually 2 versions of it. Oh no, they made 3. They made 3 versions of it.
Of shriveled up Anakin.
Look, they made 3 versions of this.
Oh God. Yeah, the only one I recognize is the one on the far left.
Yeah.
That's the only one I even remember. I remember that one, but that's pretty old, but I remember it though.
They made, I'm pretty sure there's
Those other 2 must be from newer sets because
Yeah.
I've never seen those.
So yeah, if you want if you want partial nugget Anakin, there you go.
Lego they have a thing for nuggets apparently.
Yeah. You can see there's
Yeah.
So getting to Lego Star Wars, the prices over the years have steadily increased. And of course, with better, you'd expect prices to increase, inflation, everything like that. You're right, that was a thing that happened. And I'm not one to make excuses, or at least to continue with these excuses. But this recent wave of Lego Star Wars, I'm not going to show the whole thing. There are entire channels dedicated to this that I explain this. But this recent wave of Lego Star Wars sets have been incredibly overpriced, with a battle pack of 327 Star Core Troopers going for $44.99 before tax.
Tell me you're a nerd without telling me you're a nerd by reading that off.
What do you mean?
Anyways, continue.
I didn't read that. That's off the top of my head.
Yeah, that was the joke. Anyways,
yeah. Listen, the only reason I know that is because I actually
I would not have been able to tell you that. I like Lego Star Wars. I would have never been able to tell you the regiment.
Well, ever since I was a kid, I've collected clone troopers. That was my thing growing up. And it has turned from clone troopers into...
Okay, buddy. You're not the only kid that collected clone troopers. I feel like every kid collected clone troopers back in the day.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm the kid that did that, but I'm saying that's the reason why I know this. And, I still kind of do it.
All right, how many hair follicles are on Captain Rex's face?
Which version?
Clone Wars.
Enough.
Not the Rebels one.
Enough.
And I need a number.
Well, it depends, because remember,
you're like the Dr. House of Lego Star Wars, my guy. I gotta know.
Well, it actually depends because of all the.
All right, phase 1, like the first introduction of him. Give me a number.
12.
He can't have that few hair follicles. Ain't no way.
Like on his head, like top of his head, or like his
I'm talking
beard?
about beard, like face, not the head, not the hair of it.
I think he has a standard amount because doesn't he, like in most of Clone Wars, he goes back and forth between 5 o'clock shadow and not having one. Funny enough.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. All right, acceptable answer. All right, he does know his nerd stuff. All right, continue on with your rant about Lego Star Wars.
So, I'm not gonna sit here and complain about quality. There's enough people that have complained about it.
It's dog shit. It's the biggest piece of dog shit, to quote The Rock.
Thank you, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Your movies may suck, but your memes are pretty adequate.
Yep.
So recently Lego has made a monumentous step forward in their and that is putting out a $1,000 Lego set. Now, granted, here it is right now. It is the brand new UCS. I call it Pancake Star. They call it Death Star. But
I feel like pancake is an insult to pancakes.
That is, that depends.
This is like the flat Earth version of the Death Star. Like this was made for all the flat Earth conspiracy theorists out there.
That's not a pancake. It's a space station.
No, it's a flat station. It's Flat Stanley.
Oh God, no, we're not bringing up Flat Stanley. We're not. Okay, continuing on.
All right,
getting back on track here. What you see in front of you right now is what Lego deems worth $1,000 US. Okay, and I don't know the piece count off the top of my head. I'm not going to go look it up because it doesn't matter.
It ain't worth it. It doesn't matter.
Okay, it is not worth the price, no matter how you skew it. Now, my biggest issue isn't with the build. It's not with the minifigures. It's not with any of that. It comes with the integrity of YouTube and content creators that solely focus and revolve around the Lego sphere. And I'm calling out each and every one of you. Why the hell did you all go on and on and on? Well, I know the answer, but you all went on and on for months when it was financially okay and financially viable to basically dogpile on Lego for like leaks and supposed product images of this thing and say there's no way that a Death Star could be worth $1,000. That was back when y'all thought it was a sphere. Then you all found out that it was a pancake, and you all were still on the absolutely not. This is awful. Then the minifigures leaked, and you were still.
And then somehow that changed.
No,
changed the tune.
No, that didn't change the tune at all.
Oh, really?
So you all were still on the right track here. You were calling out Lego, whose slogan is "Only the best is good enough," for their inaccuracies, for their cheapness of certain prints on some of these characters, specifically for non-dual molded legs, the modern Stormtrooper helmet, the C-3PO not having the correct leg, and the fact that it's missing a piece. If you look right here, I'll zoom in, where in between the Imperial shuttle here, there is supposed to be a TIE fighter here. Now, the TIE fighter is actually a separate set along with more stormtroopers and a TIE pilot, which you think would be integral to a Death Star, because one of the most iconic scenes of Star Wars is the trench run, which has Darth Vader and TIE fighter pilots. No, that is a gift with purchase when you buy this set early. I believe it's after 2 weeks you will no longer be able to get that gift with purchase.
So it's going to be $700 from your local scalper.
I wouldn't go that far.
Maybe at least 80 for no reason.
Yeah, maybe not even that, because I've seen it. It does not have anything exclusive. You could part it out and build it easily, pretty cheap. No, but the main issue is, as soon as this got revealed, and this set, to my knowledge, at this point in time, is not available for sale yet. But Lego LAN members, which is the Lego Ambassador Network, have already received this item. These are the same people that criticized, that openly incentivized criticism and discussion about this, have changed their tune. And I recently saw a short, I will link it in the description, of somebody who explains why this is, and it's not rocket science, but the way that the thing.
Do we need to start a Lego gate, kind of like Gamergate?
Probably, because
because it sounds very similar. I feel like I've heard this story before.
Yeah. So in turn, these people are not paid. Okay? Not paid directly with money. There is no monetary transaction, but they are given for free the majority, if not all, of these sets for free. And some of them actually don't even keep their sets. I'm not going to name names, but they actively have come out and said that once the review is done, they sell these items. And that in itself is a moral gray area, in my opinion. But to date, the Lego Ambassador Network this year alone has given out $9,500+ worth of free Lego to these creators. And you got anything to say about that, Coolshirt?
Not really. I mean, a bunch of pussies.
So, this is the same company that has rebranded the Slave One to Jango Fett / Boba Fett Starship. This is the same company that on the new Black Pearl set, which in my opinion is very overpriced, but I know somebody who's going to instantly run and grab it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm not buying it by myself. I'll go halvesies with my brother.
Granted, look, before
I'm still pissed that they called it Jack Sparrow's like pirate ship.
Okay.
Like, what the fuck, man? Like, the old set was called the Black Pearl. What's the problem with calling it the Black Pearl again? Like, what the fuck?
Simple. The word black.
Oh yeah, the word black. Even though the ship is black, we're gonna just ignore that.
The ship is black, and that's the whole reason. Yeah.
Just do it in Spanish, you know. Just the. I'm kidding.
Listen, I'm just gonna scroll down here, and we'll just get the cute anime girl things there. But no, look, I'm kind of a hypocrite here. Everyone on the internet is a hypocrite to some point. I did purchase the Legend of Zelda set, and that's $300. That's an incredibly overpriced set. I would not recommend anyone pick it up.
I mean, I bought the UCS Venator. That was not $300. That was a lot more than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Lego.
But that thing is huge, though. It's cool. It's cool. It took me like over a week to build, though.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the UCS Falcon in person, and the most recent one.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it at like the Lego store, like on display. It's pretty cool. It's huge, dude.
Yeah, and I genuinely was very, very much like, oh man, I really, really want this, but I didn't have the money at the time. It's retired now, and if I ever decide to get one, I won't get one because the next.
Did they already retire the Venator already?
No, Venator's not retired yet.
Okay, interesting.
I know that the most recent one that was retired was the Walker from episode 5.
Seriously, the Walker?
I can't remember the name.
You mean the AT-AT?
That one. Yeah.
Okay. All right, fake fan. All right, I see how it is.
Oh, sorry, man. It's been a minute.
You know all those things about the Clone Troopers, but the moment it takes anything to go back to the original trilogy, your brain goes mush.
Listen,
I see how it is.
When it comes to the original trilogy, I'm a rebel guy. Sorry.
Yeah, but what were the rebels getting stomped by?
The Empire.
Exactly.
No. The main reason I have an issue with this, and the main reason I feel like I'm not calling for a boycott. I don't think boycotts work. I don't think that that's the correct answer here. But I just want consistency, and I want, more people to call out these companies and not be afraid, to lose your free Lego, your free Lego that you make hundreds of dollars on, and then you sell to make even more money.
Yeah.
So I just want you all to remain consistent. If you're going to criticize something, okay, for the price and for the lack of quality, okay, and then you get given the product for free, or you see something that changes your mind. I'm not saying you can't change your opinion, okay? I'm not. But what I am saying is don't go from criticizing and saying you need to boycott this, you shouldn't spend money on this, this is not worth it, to the product arrives and you only have good things to say. You don't even mention the flaws that you were harping on anymore. Instead, you encourage people like, hey, if this is what you want, go pick it up. Like, be consistent. Yeah. And
this could be said about so many different industries.
Yeah, I mean, it's every industry. Gaming is one of the bigger ones. I mean, look at the Raid Shadow Legends ads. Like Raid Shadow Legends is everything wrong with.
I haven't seen one of those in a while though.
I've seen a ton of them.
I don't really get many ads, but like even from like the YouTubers I watch, I typically don't see that advertisement.
I don't get many ads because I have an ad blocker. But the moment I go on my phone, it's nothing.
Wait, we're not supposed to say that. YouTube might sue us.
I don't. The ad blocker is not for YouTube. It's for something else.
Yeah, I use the ad blocker for Twitch. Cause fuck Twitch.
Yeah, that's what I. That they have worse ads than YouTube. But that's not true.
I wouldn't. As somebody who advertises on YouTube, that's not entirely true.
That's not true. I've seen the borderline hentai and like pornographic ads here on YouTube, but then again, those can't be ads on Twitch because that's just their regular content.
Yeah, you can't just advertise you to their normal content on the homepage.
Yeah. So continuing on, gaming's just like that. Everything is like that. And the reason why this bothers me so much is, one, it's a very moral gray area, and two, it's just begging for government regulation even more than there already is. You know?
I mean, I know that the EU is already working on stuff like that at the moment.
Because it's
So, but yeah.
Because a lot of the criticism that, or a lot of the things that people used to deflect criticism, specifically from Lego, is, oh, you guys are adults complaining about a children's toy. Okay. If these are children's toys, then we need to regulate, and once again, here comes the regulation. Then we need to regulate and treat these advertisements, these YouTube videos, like what they are: ads targeting children. And nobody wants that, you know?
Nope.
So you really need to pick your fights and things like that, because I can go all day about this. I will not be purchasing this set. I would recommend that every single person that is a fan of Lego not purchase this. I recommend you stop buying Lego until until they fix their shit. The quality's not there.
What I'll tell you to do is you go to your local scalper and you see if they've got any. No. What you do is you see if they got any of the old Death Star sets, because those are pretty cool. And then just build one of those instead, because they're actually good. Specifically, like the I feel like the old UCS one was actually really sick.
Which one? They made two. They made the first Death Star, which is the playset one.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Death Star 2 one, where it's like the second Death Star, where it's like kind of busted up and everything. Yeah, Death Star 2, I feel like that was the better one. Oh, that was the better set.
Funny enough, if you actually want a Death Star kind of like that, it would actually be about not even near $1,000, but it would probably be a lot cheaper, maybe around the like $100-$200 mark, to actually just go and part out all of the pieces and find somebody who made a model, like a model instructions online, and build that, Well,
then why don't people just start doing that instead of spending all the money on that bullshit? I mean, at that point, is it just because of the minifigures? Is it really that what sells it?
I mean,
because I didn't buy the UCS for the Captain Rex. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be entirely honest. Captain Rex was just a plus. It was not the reason I bought it.
So a lot of these, funny that you say that. A lot of these, YouTubers or people like that are also what they like to they dub themselves Lego investors.
I see. Investing in plastic.
Yeah, so they will go out and buy up entire sets to basically hoard them, specifically because of minifigures in them. And the best example that I can give is the old Phase 2 Captain Rex, which was only released in one set. And the minifigure alone was going for over $100.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh, God. And the price plummeted the moment the UCS set came out. But there were still people. I remember a Instagram post that was shared somewhere of somebody who went to their local Lego store and bought every single UCS what's the ship again? Venator. Specifically because they wanted to open it up and sell the Captain Rex for half the price of what they just paid for the set. Just the minifigure.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there's people like that, and there's some of the bigger people in the Lego community online do stuff like that. It all leads to scalping and,
Artificially
resell.
inflating the price of retarded like plastic
Yeah.
toys.
Yeah. And then you have a lot of people being like, "Oh, why are you doing this? Think about the children," even though it's shown that kids don't buy toys. And I have to ask this question. The economy's dog shit. People can barely afford food. What kid is asking for this? What kid is asking for the $1,000 fucking Death Star playset moon frisbee shit? No one. Because by the end of the day, okay, after the kid has spent all weekend building the damn set, and playing with it, you could have gone and bought them an iPad or a fucking Xbox, but then again, Xbox just raised their prices to, I think, like their entry level is going to be like 625 and nearly 800 for their top of the line quote unquote product. That then you give them $15 for Game Pass, even though Game Pass is a horrible fucking system. Or I'm sorry, 20 nowadays. And boom. That's what kids want,
Is that what kids want these days? I thought that all the kids were just watching TikToks and drinking Prime.
Oh God.
I thought that was the current like fad, but I don't really talk to. I don't really have a lot of kids I talk to.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm a single adult. I'm not really around a lot of kids. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the kids are interested in these days.
As a grown adult man, I don't think I could, just walk into a park by myself up to random kids and ask them, "Yo, kids, what are y'all into nowadays?" without the cops getting called.
You see, this is what you got to do, Fire. Is you got to start a poll and just ask parents what their kids are doing.
Do you really think that the modern parent knows anything about what their kids are doing?
No. They're too busy watching, like, Sopranos or some shit.
They're too busy also watching TikTok.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Hey, I hate to say it, but, it doesn't matter what age range you are. That's the modern society right now, is those, like, cheap dopamine hits.
Yeah.
And the inability to, like, have a long-term attention span to, like, actually, like, either listen or read books or, like, do anything that doesn't just instantly give, like, brain gratification through, like, dopamine hits on, like, TikToks, like, shorts, like YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, or anything that's like that.
Yeah.
Specifically. I mean, I'm guilty of watching lots of Instagram reels, but I know when to kind of stop. And I still enjoy reading books, watching movies and things like that, and interacting with other types of cultural, like, entertainment. And I prefer long form entertainment over the short form, personally.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same way. I mean, ever since, like, getting back to video gaming slightly, one of my favorite things that I used to do all the time, and I still do from time to time, is I grab my favorite podcast, I throw that on in the background, and I either shiny farm or I breed competitive Pokemon. I much prefer, like,
yep, take that one out of context right there. He likes to breed Pokemon.
Pokemon to fight each other. We'll talk about Pokemon.
All right, slow down, Michael Vick.
I don't think I use a single dog Pokemon on any of my teams, so you can chill out.
I don't care, man. You use any evolutions? Close enough to a dog?
No, dude. 99% of the evolutions are trash.
I agree with that. I think the only good one was, like, what? Vaporeon?
No, Vaporeon is very niche.
At one point it was.
Yeah, funny enough, the most competitive evolution ever, and someone in the comments is probably going to come and be like, "This guy doesn't know what he's talking about." Mind you, this was back when the fairy type first came out, was Sylveon.
Was it I was gonna say Espeon, but no, I guess it would be Sylveon, I guess.
Yeah, Sylveon, because Umbreon.
I like Espeon's my favorite.
Yeah, Umbreon, which is every edgy girl's favorite Pokemon.
What is there to like about Umbreon? It's just an ugly looking like little dude.
People really love the shiny version of it.
What color is the shiny?
So it's a slightly more sand, or like a slightly more gray instead of black, and the rings turn like a neon blue.
That's gay.
Yeah, well, it's better than fucking. I don't remember if Vaporeon shiny is green or fucking pink.
I'm not looking it up. I'm not brave enough to look up Vaporeon on the internet.
Google Vaporeon anymore.
As any watchers of this, don't ever Google Vaporeon on the internet. It's too dangerous.
Don't ever Google Vaporeon inflation.
Why did you even have to bring that shit up? What the fuck, dude? See, like now someone's gonna look it up out of curiosity, and then they're gonna find that fucking 4chan post.
Listen, man, I'm not their dad. I'm not telling them what to do.
You just okay. Get the fuck out of here. You're a bigger hypocrite than these Lego creators.
Yes. Dude, I actively would play Destiny 2 while like Bungie was getting away with some of the worst fucking gaming practices known to mankind, while vehemently discussing on the first run of this podcast about how people should stop supporting games with shitty business practices that were basically just emulating Destiny, while immediately hopping off and being done with the podcast to go play Destiny.
So what you're telling me is that you're admitting that you used to cuck yourself on Destiny.
100%.
All right. Glad you finally admitted that. All right. Now you're growing.
I think this is like the 5th time I've
Hey, you're not the only one. I'm just saying. We were all playing Destiny together at one point. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of how it went. I quit over a year ago. Over a year sober. Going strong.
I think
it's like June 23rd, 2024 was the last time I logged into Destiny 2. And that will be the last day I ever touch Destiny.
I mean, I can't sit here and say that I'll never touch Destiny again, but it would take a lot, because I've seen the current state the game is in, and I've watched how it's deteriorated and crumbled. You know, I actually look out for a video like just of me explaining about this, because Destiny used to be great. Like, it used to actually make me want to play it, but the changes that they've made are so actively anti-Destiny and anti-core of what made Destiny fun that that's what really got me to quit. There's no reason to run strikes. There's nothing that great makes you want to run Crucible. Raid weapons are mostly craftable. The new tier system for loot is dog shit. The new leveling system and what you have to do to level is dog shit. Like, it's just, you would need to completely overhaul the game again. And Bungie just overhauled it to do this stupid ass shit. And if you still enjoy it, hey.
It's okay. We don't have to keep talking about our old torture that we used to go through and put ourselves through.
What do you mean? I loved fucking playing the Omnical Strike over and over and over again just to get nothing.
Just to never get your grasp of my luck?
You're goddamn right.
Did you even get one, or did you just like not get a roll that you liked?
Okay, so there would be entire days where all I was getting were Warlock bonds.
I remember those days.
And then there were some days where...
Oh my god.
And then there were some days where I wouldn't get shit. Or like, I would get some, but I didn't get anything.
Your Omnigold Nightfalls sound like my Vault of Glass runs.
Yeah. Funny enough, this is how... Are you ready for how ingrained this one gun is in my memory?
Yeah.
The role that I got or wanted that I never got was one of the 2 box scopes with uh high caliber rounds, counterbalance, and the other perk that was also, it had the same thing that looked exactly like counterbalance to basically turn the gun into a straight vertical laser.
It was like either Zen Moment or it was the one where like the bottom half of your magazine did like
No,
more
it,
damage
it
or some
wasn't
shit.
glass half full. The
It wasn't
perk,
that one?
yeah,
Okay.
the perk looked exactly like counterbalance.
I know what perk you're talking about, and I think I had that exact roll you're talking about too.
Yeah, and
I think it's still sitting in my vault in Destiny 1.
the closest I ever got was everything minus that second perk, the second like counterbalance style perk, and instead it had oh my god, I knew the name of the perk before I started this spiel. Head Seeker.
Oh, Head Seeker. I know what you're talking about. I thought Head Seeker wasn't until Destiny 2.
No, it was in Destiny 1.
I guess it was. I don't
But
remember.
it wasn't
It was definitely a later on perk though.
yeah. But that,
Let me guess, you were doing that. You were going for that one for PvP.
oh yeah, I'm a PvP fiend, man. That the only reason I stuck around with Destiny.
Yeah, I had that. I had that perk retreat because I think we confirmed this a while ago that I had the exact god roll you were looking for, and I never used it.
Yeah. But if this makes anyone, as we wrap this up here, if this makes any Destiny vets, seethe, I actually have 6 God Roll IS Lunas sitting in my vault in Destiny 1.
Good for you, buddy.
And
I never even got Fatebringer in Destiny 1.
Oh, I had like a shit ton of those.
I played Vault of Glass like a total of like 80 times, and I never got Fatebringer once.
I got the Vex Mytho class first run.
I've got Vex twice in D1. I've also got it in D2. I never was able to complete King's Fall in Destiny 1 because none of my raid crews were smart enough to beat Oryx.
Thank you to,
yeah.
I don't remember your gamer tag, but you random bunch of rednecks that taught me how to do King's Fall. Thank you. You all are forever immortalized in my memory. I may not remember your names, but this podcast episode goes out to you all.
Oh my god. I wish I had. I could have found a good grip on LFG to actually complete that raid.
Oh no, I didn't find it. It wasn't an LFG group because I vehemently hate King's Fall in D1. I had no reason to run it. I hated the armor, and
I didn't care for the armor, but I wanted the weapons, and I really wanted Touch of was it
Touch of Malice? You were correct.
Yeah, Touch of Malice. Yeah, I was thinking of the right thing. Yeah, I wanted that whenever I was playing at the time. And I ran it like 20, 30 times, and I'd get past Sisters, which was like this right before Oryx, and then like the raid crew would just fall apart. Yeah. And some of the crews would fall apart at Sisters. Most of the crews would get filtered out by Golgoroth, because like you'd have people in the crew trying to use like a blue fusion rifle or some shit for DPS.
Yeah. And
we would just get wiped.
Well, the way I found it is I was friends with this chick that I met on Xbox. Not in that way. And she invited me to this raid. It was King's Fall on normal. And she ended up just being an absolute fucking asshole to those people. They kicked her and they're like, "Oh no, you seem cool. You want to learn how to do this?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." And that's how I learned. If it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't.
He learned by being a shitty friend.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Yeah. If it hadn't been for that, because this was before Moments of Triumph, I never would have been able to run it with everyone else because I basically at that point taught all my other friends how to do it. Except this one friend, I never ran it with him. Yeah.
Yeah, me and you only ever ran King's Fall together in Destiny 2.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Well, because like I feel like did I ever do Wrath of the Machine with you either?
Yes, because I helped you with the binary thing for Outbreak.
Yeah, Prime. We did that like the first week of it. We didn't do day one. We weren't going for like the world's first or anything like that. But Yeah, we did the stupid binary. Randall the Vandal or whatever was like roaming around.
Rest in peace,
Rest in
cheat sheet
peace.
napkin.
Yep.
You're
Good times. Anyways, you want to wrap us up?
Yeah, let's wrap this up. Thank you everyone for listening. There's, like I said, a link to Fleek in the description. Go check his videos out, and you'll learn. Yeah, and you'll learn about how everything nowadays needs to be measured in how many silk songs something costs. There's a link to the podcast on Spotify, as well as the Twitter in the Twitter as well, and algorithm stuff.
Basically, social links are in the bio. And have a nice day and go fuck yourself.
There you go. Social media algorithm bullshit. We're out.